Hi guys, welcome back to another chapter day series. I literally did not acknowledge I didn't acknowledge that the video already started, but welcome to another chapter day series. I'm very sleepy. I hope you're doing fine and staying alright. Today is a very good day, and you know I recorded this a chapter day series in the morning. This is the first chapter day series I've recorded in the morning in this whole week, because that's how much of time I've not had. That's how much time I've not had to do anything. So it's really, really sad to me, but at least we're getting it done. So I didn't put this here, but previously on First Samuel, we talked about the Philistines returning the ark with offerings, and God, helping the Philistines, not God helping the Israelites through Samuel and them defeating their first tribe, which was the Ammonites. And we talked about how the Israelites didn't necessarily, you know, make the ark of God to contradict God's power of being omnipresent, but they did it to kind of symbolize God's love and God's grace and God's mercy and just basically everything God has done for them. They used that ark as a symbol to show it, so that when they want to sin, they could go back and look at that and be like, well, God has done all this for me. He doesn't deserve my iniquity, so they don't do it. But this chapter today, 1 Samuel chapter 8, contradicts it a lot. It literally contradicts it a lot. So today we're reading Samuel chapter 8, and it is 21 verses. So basically it's talking about the Israelites wanting a king. They wanted a king. I'm just in shock, serial shock, that they wanted a king. Well, it wasn't like clearly like they wanted a king. Samuel was getting old, and his sons, which were Joel, Abiah, and Beersheba, they had no morals like he did. They more or less, lived the kind of life of lust and bribes and perverted judgment and stuff like that. They were not like Samuel, so they could not rule or success or after their father. But the Israelites, they wanted a king. And there's a particular verse in this chapter, verse 7, that says, and this is God talking, and the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people. So he's saying, okay, Samuel, the people want a king? Fine, give them a king. And it goes on to say, in all that they say unto you, for they have not rejected you. So God is saying, listen to what the Israelites want. Everything that they want you to do, do what they want. Because Samuel thinks, oh, you guys don't want me? No, God is telling Samuel, they're not rejecting you, they are rejecting me. And it goes on to say, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. That is the most sad thing ever. Like, I feel so sad right now. This was God talking to Samuel. They have rejected me. Just imagine rejecting God. It's so sad, really, that they rejected God. I don't even know what to say. They rejected God. Rejecting of God, it has been going on for a very long time, even unspokenly and spokenly. Everybody has been rejecting God through the things you do, through how you act. It could be rejecting God. That's what I got from this verse. That rejecting God doesn't only mean, opening your mouth and saying, I reject God, but it means the way you act, the things you do, how you talk, all those things, you as a person, your identity, your individuality, how it is, can tell if you're rejecting God. So yeah, it was really sad. I literally highlighted on my Bible, with little crying emojis. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what is happening. So Samuel is on the quest of looking for a king, but before he does that, he tells the Israelites in verse 18, and you shall cry out in that day, because your Lord, your God, which you have not chosen, which you shall have chosen, and it says, you shall cry out in that day because of your king, which you shall have chosen you. and the Lord will not hear you that day. So basically saying today you're choosing a king versus choosing a Lord God. So your king will, befall you and God would listen to you. So let's keep that verse to see when our new king arrives, if you live up to that prophecy. Yeah. But the Israelites responded to saying, oh, but we'll still have a king, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know why they're so obsessed with having a king. I don't know why they're so obsessed with having a physical figure. Again, Joshua did talk to them about this, but I guess they did not listen to Joshua's teachings. So, yeah, the Israelites are just amazingly each and every day. So yeah, that's basically what this chapter is talking about. A memory verse for today. So I will confess, I did not have any quiet time this morning. I did not read my Bible this morning, like Bible studying this morning, because I didn't have enough time. And not that I didn't have enough time. I don't have enough time, and I don't want to rush it through. So I'll do it later in the day. But I just thought I have to say that so that you don't think, oh, I'm perfect. I'm doing Bible study each day. I've not done Bible study for 4 days, and it's like I'm going crazy in my head. But it's okay. I'll try to be doing it maybe during my break or when I'm back from work, something like that. I'll try to put space for it because it's needed. When you do Bible study, you find out there's so much of the Bible you do not acknowledge, and there's so many things that the Bible tells you not to do that you have been doing. There's so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much information, and I feel helps me to become better and to live more Christ-like. So yeah, that's basically it. So let's read the memory verse for today. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. And it says, let me flip my Bible over there. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. And it says, say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. So basically, this verse is saying, don't say, oh, this person has done something wrong to me, I'm going to do something wrong to you, then we'll be even. There is nothing like being even. No. God is the avenger of all evil. He will avenge you. He will give you justice. And I read this today from my Bible, the King James Version Bible. The app gives you memory verses each day to read. So it's a very good, tool to read. So yeah, basically it talks about how justice, it can only be fully avenged from God. Although the law, the legislative department, the law and everything, they're here to, avenge justice, to give justice, because it's made up of human beings, because it is immortal, because it's immortal, because it's made up of human beings. It can never be perfect. There's still vulnerability, there's still, preference, there's still perverted judgment, there's still partiality, there's still that missing part, because it can never be perfect. Justice can never be fully served. There's still racism, there's still so many things that go around the legislature and law, that when it comes to executing justice, they can't do it. They're still vulnerable and they're still impaired because they're human beings, and it can never be perfect. But when the justice comes from God, it's something that's perfect. It's something that is just totally fully initialized, but it doesn't come so quickly. Like, oh, somebody does something wrong to you, like maybe gossip about you, and you're praying to God, and like God avenge it, and you expect the next day for it to be avenged. No, it doesn't work on your timing. It doesn't work on your preference. It doesn't work on your will. It all works on God. That's why he's God. That's why the justice is perfect, and he does it in such a mysterious and magical way. Like, don't say anything. It could take 7 years. It could take 4 years, but I promise you, that time period for the person that wronged you to avenge that evil will be amazing. Like, I'm not saying I'm happy for people who are sick or stagnant in life. No, but if you look at it from the perspective of, oh, this person wronged me and now they're ripping what they sowed, that's how I look at it. I look at it as, oh, you sowed evil, now you're ripping the evil. That's God's justice system. He doesn't